Thank you to everyone who's watching and will be watching. I am joined by a very inspirational figure, Lindsay Manfredi. Lindsay, I'm not reading one of these bio things. I'm going off the cuff here.
Okay.
Lindsay, musician in a great band called Cold. Did you just this week celebrate your 11th anniversary? Did I read that correctly?
Yesterday, 11 years.
Yesterday, 11 years. 2 books to your name and to your credit. 2-time TED speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a lot of 2s and 11s and numbers and all that. But ultimately, I'm speaking with a successful musician, successful author, successful entrepreneur. And Lindsay, how's your day going aside from, having to talk to this guy and, get 20 things done per usual?
I drove from Los Angeles to Palm Desert. As soon as I'm done with you, I'm speaking with 20 senior management at PNC Bank, which I'm at PNC Bank right now doing that. And it's exciting. I love motivating people and talking about self-worth and being engaged with your customers and your teams and your fans. So, I'm right off of a tour 2 days ago and back to work.
And you said self-worth in that response, and the new book, The Girl Who Cried Love, A Pivot to Self-Worth. When did you actually finish this book? Oh, okay. I see. Let's see the back cover too. Let's see the back cover. Okay. So quotes. So people praise this book, not just Darren Paltrocast. So when did you actually finish this second book of yours?
I sent it to my publisher on 7/7 of this year, and it's funny because all the numbers aligned. I wanted it to be released on 9/9 because it's a 9-year, and I was really closing a chapter, closing like the last 9 years of so much self-sabotage and toxic relationships and patterns, and I just knew that this was the time to release this book. So I turned it into my publisher on 7/7. I happened to turn the audio to my mastering engineer on 8/8, and the book came out on 9/9, and I celebrated my 11 years with Cold on 11/11 yesterday. So it's just been kind of a fun number year.
Sure. You've not slowed down at all in recent years. Cold is a band that tours pretty heavy. You have all sorts of nonprofit work and talks that you give besides the books and all that. So you have this career path that's very creative, yet also business oriented. And here's the actual question. What do I call you when I say what Lindsay does for a living?
I'm an artist. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach. I'm a server. I like to serve other people. I like to find out what the root of people's problems are that are keeping them from living their best life, and helping them through that.
So the band that I keep mentioning, Cold, they had a couple of gold records. Who knows if there'll be another gold record in the future. And a lot of people, when they're in a big band that's pretty known with hit songs, that's what they do for a living. And that's their pinpoint focus. In your case, you're very diversified. Did you know all along that you wanted to have this diversified path as an artist?
Well, unfortunately, I can't just make a living touring 4 to 5 months out of the year. And I think that a lot of artists struggle with that. You're on the road for 2 and 3 months at a time, and then you come home and you still have to work, just because as artists, we don't get paid enough to just fully work off of work, and or fully live off of touring.
Right.
Some people do. Cold does not, and we're very grateful because we do well on tour, and we are able to make some money. But for all of us, we all have jobs outside of the band. Cold is always my number one priority. Everything drops when it's time to write, to be on tour, to do the studio. But I love what I do outside of that.
Yeah.
So it all works out for me. And I love to create. So writing books is just natural for me.
For the average person, I don't think that they're aware of band economics, of where the money comes from, how much money comes in, et cetera. I don't think they realize how many of their favorite artists do things outside of being on that stage and making that album. So the positive spin on that whole thing is that you've created your own path where you're not waiting for people necessarily. Now,
Correct.
where you're at nowadays, was that just organic, or is this the long-term goal to be this diversified?
It really happened organically. I didn't know. There was a time I was serving. I was a bartender. Like 5 years ago, I was doing that, and then the pandemic hit, and I really realized that being around alcohol and those kind of things all the
Yeah.
time was not good for me. And I got sober at the beginning of the year, so that's just not an option. I don't really have a plan B, so everything I'm doing pretty much has to work out, if that makes any
And
sense.
right now it seems like it's working out. And you mentioned the sobriety part. People follow you on social media, they've seen you document that portion of your life. And a
Mhm.
lot of people, when they stop drinking, when that becomes a regular part of their life, they have to replace it with other things. For you, where did that free time go?
Well, I don't really know if it went anywhere. I save a lot of money by not drinking. I'm in bed a lot earlier. I wake up early in the morning and work out, and I haven't missed a workout since I stopped drinking. I really, the time has gone back into me and developing everything I want to develop. I've kind of been solo this year. I went through a really traumatic breakup 5 months ago that I document in the book. You're going to read all about it. And I just really have been pouring into myself this year
Yeah.
and just rebuilding who I am and what I want to do and who I want to be. And I know that alcohol was just, it was just one of those toxic patterns that was completely unnecessary. And I just decided, I was like, well, let's do it for a year. Let's see what happens. And it's just been a very successful year. So I don't regret any of that.
So another recurring theme that I'm hearing is when you go through something painful, you find the positive and the redemption and the growth from that whole process. And that seems to be a big focus of this new book. So was it difficult writing something so cathartic?
I cried every day. I still do sometimes, to be honest. I'm getting a little emotional now. Um, but it was cathartic. I don't necessarily want to relive everything
Yeah.
all the time because I do talk about it, but I definitely am coming from a gratitude standpoint, as
Mhm.
in I'm grateful those things happened because it really lit a fire under my ass, and to start putting myself first instead of constantly putting everyone else's needs above my own and trying to prove I was worthy of love and attention and appreciation when I never got it. So I was constantly like giving a feast while getting breadcrumbs in return.
Mm.
So I just really, so now I'm just focusing on how I can serve other people in any way I possibly can. So it's been a very beautiful
Yeah.
thing because
And
that's my
bring,
passion.
of course, serving others. And, talking about the band Cold, it's one of those things that I find fascinating where generally the angrier and heavier the music sounds, the more relaxed the people are off stage.
Mm.
In other words, in professional wrestling, the bad guys usually in real life are the nice human beings that are very relaxed. Is there a big wellness community around you in the metal world?
Well, I don't really think that we're metal. I don't think that we're in a metal category at all. I think that we're in more of an alternative rock
Okay.
category. And I know that we've always been dubbed as new metal because we Cold came up in that time, and where it was Fred Durst and Korn and all these really great bands that were happening at the time. But I don't really, if you listen to our music, we're really not that metal at all. And I don't really hang out with enough people to know what the community is like in the rest of the rock industry. I see people at shows and at festivals, but I have a very small circle.
That response is interesting on a few levels because I think the average person does wrongly pigeonhole Cold as being metal oriented because of the earlier work. When it comes to you and playing music, what was the band in the first place that made you realize the possibility of doing music as a career, not just listen to music?
Well, I was always playing music. I started playing guitar when I was 16 and started writing my own songs. And I talk about that in my first book on Kwithable. Like I picked up my dad's old Alvarez acoustic. It had nylon strings on it, and he had this Mel Bay guitar book that showed chords. Yeah, the cover was ripped off of it because he'd had it since he was in the Army, like since he was a teenager. Yeah. And I just learned how to play like a D, E, C, G, and I was like, I'm gonna write my own stuff. So I had always played, and really what made me want to play music was like watching Debbie Gibson and Madonna growing up, like being pop stars. But then I was raised in the 90s, thankfully, and like when Hole and Smashing Pumpkins and Pearl Jam and STP, like those are the bands that just really made me want to do music. And I was exposed to Cold in the late 90s. Right after they released the Red album, they were on tour and they were out with Kid Rock, and I happened to be doing merch for Sprung Monkey.
Oh, I remember Sprung Monkey. Great stuff.
I was, get them out of here. They're from San Diego, but I happened to be doing merch for them at their the show in Chicago called the Metro, or in Chicago at the Metro, and Cold was there, and that was I'd never heard of them, of course, because it was their first album. They'd just gotten signed, and they just done that album with Ross Robinson, and I immediately was like, what is this? I'm absolutely in love with it. And I just became a fan. And it's 11:11 over here on the West Coast. So thank you, universe. I became a fan, and I ended up, I was a body piercer at the time, and I had moved to Florida, and I was in Tampa, and 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage came out. And I was so in love with that album that I got the Cold tattoo. And so then fast forward like a year or two later, the band, like I was on their street team with like Interscope. I was handing out records because that was what you did back in the early 2000s.
Or cassette, the 2-song cassettes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I would get boxes of them and I would hand them out to people in Kokomo, Indiana. I'd moved to Florida to, pursue my rock star dreams. And they had asked fans to send in photos, and I did, and I made it into the Year of the Spider inserts of the album and of the CD. And it's just crazy. So I just had always listened to Cold, and all these albums came out, and I was playing bass in a band called Picture Yes, and we were touring with Saving Abel. We were a buy-on band for them, and we had toured with them multiple legs for a couple of tours. And someone saw me playing bass and saw my Cold tattoo and sent it to Scooter, because we have a little bit of a crossover in that genre.
Yeah.
It all happened because someone sent my photo to Scooter on social media, and so he reached out in 2014, and it was an immediate yes, and I've been with them ever since.
Where I was going with, is there a band that showed you could do this? Why I started playing guitar, I think it was either Green Day or Rancid, and they're like ascent of the punk revolution. But I didn't go, I can do that. But when I started going to all ages shows here on Long Island, and you'd see there's no stage and the people are around your age, you go, oh, there's no barrier between me and these people. Did you have a particular band that, not that you went, these guys are not good, I could do that, but was there a local band like that? Because I know you moved around a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah. Hole is what made me say I can do this. Actually, watching Courtney Love play guitar, I actually bought a Fender Venus, which is what she's one of the co-designers with Fender. And it's just got a little bit of a smaller neck. So I was just such a fan, and I knew I could do it. I would pick apart music and just listen to every aspect of it when I would be high as a teenager. I was fascinated by music. It's all I ever wanted to do.
So that's a positive Courtney Love, rather, from Whole story that we just heard.
Yes. I have never met her personally, and it's like that's the one person I want to meet, but I don't know. But I think that we would get along. I think she would think I was pretty cool.
Well, again, we'll see. And so again, this new book, when you finish the book and it's now been out for a couple months and the audiobook is done. I'm sorry, it's not been out for a couple months. It's been done for a couple months. Correction right there. And you're now taking it on tour. Are you thinking a third book is in your future?
Oh, a third book. I already have titles for 3 books that I am going to be doing. So yeah, it's definitely going to happen. But I'm going to work on this for a while. This just became an international bestseller. It's the first time I've ever achieved that accomplishment. I'm very excited because it's just really I just am happy to get the book in more people's hands because I know the self-worth is something a lot of people struggle with, and chasing love and holding on to relationships that are not good for you for too long is something everyone struggles with. So I just want to get that message out there that you're okay on your own, and it's okay to wait for what you want. And we don't have to be impatient or not think that it's coming, and just aligning with that truth.
A lot of artists aren't able to be creative when they're on the road. In your case, were you doing any of the writing while you were on the road with Cold?
I was not. I think when you're on tour, you're kind of in a little bubble, and it's like it's hard to even work out. And I'm a person who works out every day, but you just when you're out there, you're expending so much energy on stage, and you're around people nonstop. So you're just in this bubble. So yeah, I don't really do anything except for be present on tour when I'm on tour.
And these days, what does decompressing after a show look like for you now that you're sober and now that you have the book done and you're looking ahead and you're seemingly more positive than you've ever been?
Well, decompressing, well, first off, I haven't had a chance to even do that because I just got back 2 days ago. But decompressing after a show is just going on the bus, having some water, eating some food, like hitting a little vape pen and going to bed. It's I'm getting the best sleep. I'm showing up with all the energy to give to the fans on stage. It's a beautiful thing not being hungover. I remember the days when I used to drink, like especially back in 2019. Holy shit. I remember being on stage in Houston for sound check and just thinking I could die right now. Like I could pass out and die right now during sound check. So it's just, I'm so grateful to not be there anymore. And I had so much fun. And that's not to say I'm never going to have a drink again or a glass of wine or a margarita. I just kind of wanted to do this for me right now.
So it sounds like one of the things you got better at over time was realizing that things had expiration dates, not just food.
Yes.
So relationships have expiration dates, lifestyle choices have expiration dates.
Yeah, you could pretty much say that. I mean, I would like to be in a relationship that didn't have an expiration date, but I'll have to. That might be in the cards for me. It might not, but I'm not worried about it because I'm not looking to be fulfilled from someone else at all anymore.
For sure. And another thing I'm curious about is with how much you get done, and this is intended to be a compliment. I think a lot of other people would have a whole team behind them. For you, is it you, or is there actually somewhat of a team behind you making some of this happen?
I do have my team over at my publishing company, and I have my amazing publicist Denise. I don't know how to pronounce her name, which is awful, but I've been working with her for Kovalevich. Kovalevich. She's been with me for 5 years. I love her to death. So I have help, and I have friends, and I've got supporters, and that's been helpful.
So it's a small team, but it's still you being the CEO and calling the shots.
Absolutely.
And how does, in terms of the productivity, I'm trying to piece together how this all gets done, because nowadays it sounds like you get a good amount of sleep. Mm-hmm. It sounds like you can delegate a little bit, but is your whole day kind of mapped out in 15-minute increments or 2-hour blocks or anything like that?
Okay. I live off of this notebook, and yes, everything is written out. It gets marked off a list. I even have little tallies for how many waters I've had. It's ridiculous. I'm a very organized person, and I have things that I do, and I just get as much done as I can in a day. And if I can't do it, then that's okay. It goes to the next day, and I take time for myself as well at night. I really, really enjoy watching shows.
Mhm.
Um, so I will spend an hour or two watching a couple episodes of something, and I try to be in bed by 10.
Were you that organized or structured when you were at your worst?
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably just didn't get as much done, but because I'm an entrepreneur and I'm responsible for everything. I don't have a timeline. I don't have someone telling me what I need to do. I don't have a deadline. So the only way things actually get done is by me doing them. And I'm the only one that can move that needle forward. And I'm pretty
Well said.
motivated.
Well said. Well, three quick questions, and then I let you go, and then the people at PNC can be bestowed with the wisdom and the genius. First question: you mentioned shows, and that's part of the enjoyment and the decompression. I'm sure part of the learning as well. What are the shows that you're watching these days? And the reason I ask, for example, take a show like Ted Lasso, that's actually
Mhm.
entertainment but learning at the same time.
I love that show. I can't wait to watch the new season. I heard that was coming out. I'm watching the morning show right now. There's a new, the one with, oh my God, I'm blanking on it. This is the worst, or you're the worst, or
Oh, you're the worst with Aya Cash and that show?
yes, or no. Wait, I don't know. I don't know what it's called. But they have a podcast. There's a new season coming out. I think it was just dropped. So I didn't even watch any shows on tour. So, and I have not turned on my television since being off tour. I refused to turn it on yesterday for 11/11. I think it's a powerful manifestation day. So I didn't have any outside thing besides like some low chill hi-fi music going on all day. Um, but I don't know. I don't have time right now to hop into any shows, but I'm definitely going to finish like getting the morning show, the new season. I think I have 3 episodes to catch up on.
So Lindsay is a subscriber to Apple TV. That is what we have just learned.
Yes.
Next question, because numerology has come up in different ways. Do you have a 12-12 and a 1-1 and a 2-2 planned, or it's just the past few months have had the coincidences?
I don't really have a plan right now. My big plans for the rest of the year is I want to get the book into retail, so I'm going to be working like hitting hard Urban Outfitters, that kind of stuff. The book's on Ingram Sparks, so retailers can purchase it, but I would like to get into brick and mortar, and just focus on building my coaching business. I have spent the last couple of months creating a curriculum, and I'm in a mastermind class, and I'm just really want to learn and do as much as I can to build a business that really actually helps people.
Last question is this softball, but it's not intended to be as much of a softball as possible. And that's, what's the best way to support you? And the reason I ask that, some people, the easy question is buy my record, come see me on tour, buy my shirt. In your case, there's a buy my book. In some cases, it's no, just follow me on social media because I get the integrated campaigns and all that. But you're so diversified. What's the best way that somebody supports you these days?
Well, I think the best way is by absolutely getting books. My books are available on Amazon, or if you want to support me, where I get the most money from a book is by buying it from my website, lindsaymanfredi.com. And you get it, it's personalized, and I sign it and I ship it. And I still do candles and coaching. I'm just have fallen in love with helping people get to the root of what's holding them back. So anybody who needs coaching and needs someone to come speak to their team or to their audiences, I've been doing a lot of that lately too.
And actually, bonus last question. I just realized I've been saying your last name wrong because of Sly Stallone on the Tulsa King, because he says
Yeah, it's
Manfredi,
Manfredi there. Yeah,
but it's correctly Manfredi.
correct.
Okay, Lindsay Manfredi, thank you for the inspiration and the positivity you're putting out into the world. Looking
Thank
forward to
you.
that eventual third book. Looking forward to seeing you live in the New York region with Cold. And congratulations on all the recent success, including being an international bestseller.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone watching, and we will see you soon.
Paltrocast.